Hey guys, and welcome to another edition of the Blue Bridge. And in today's edition, I'm going to be talking about Chelsea's search for an attacking midfielder stroke right winger. So, I'm wearing this sky blue shirt today, and probably it's not by accident because out of the blue, get it? Out of the blue. Maybe a lot of blue jokes today. Chelsea have agreed a deal to sign Cole Palmer from Manchester City. Yes, you've heard it right. A deal has been agreed for £40 million plus £5 million in add-ons, and medicals have been booked. Fabrizio Romano has just given it the thumbs up, the here we go. So this move has happened lightning quick, and it's just today we heard about him. Yesterday they said there's going to be some names on that list who are going to be surprising to Chelsea, and a lot of people are getting excited because they thought it was Musiala, the ex-Chelsea player, because his name was linked. But I knew that. Let's write his name off. I didn't put him on my list, but incidentally, I had that list of those list of players, and Cole Palmer wasn't even on that list. Ansu Fati should have been on that list, but I forgot to mention him. But he was a name who was mentioned yesterday as a surprise name for coming up for Chelsea. But everyone was getting mad over Musiala. But I said, let's discount that. No way is he going to be leaving Bayern Munich at this stage of his career. But he has said some interesting words about Chelsea, how he's grateful to the club, and maybe one day we may see a return of Musiala, but not quite yet. And I think because a lot of people were, hoping for someone like of that sort of ilk, when the name Cole Palmer came up, they were a bit, why are we getting this player? And I've heard some daft things being said by the Chelsea fan base. First of all, was he the player that I would have chosen as my first choice? Probably not. But is he somebody who, if he comes in, then I won't be too upset about? No. And our spoilt fan base, once again, or snobbery, or whatever it is, the nonsense they come out with, I don't want this guy, you can't even get into the Manchester City side. Hello? Manchester City are the best club in world football at the moment, and is it any disgrace not being able to get into that side? Mahrez didn't get into that side on a week-to-week basis. Even Bernardo Silva doesn't always get in. Okay, he'd probably be in their starting 11, but if you had to look at their starting 11 and their strongest lineup, you got the likes of Gundogan, who probably wouldn't even be in that strongest 11 when he was there. But does it mean that he's not good enough? Obviously, he's at Barcelona. Obviously, Gundogan, he got the goals to win them the league last season when called upon. So it's a big squad. And Cole Palmer was part of that squad. Just because he can't get into that team, does it mean that we should dismiss him from Chelsea? Don't be daft. If we look way back in time, can you imagine Mo Salah now? Oh, Mo Salah can't get into the Chelsea side. I don't want him. And when he went to Roma, or Kevin De Bruyne, Chelsea are willing to let him go for 17 million. Why should we buy him? Come on, guys, think. I said on Space, what I was on earlier today, we don't know. We just don't know if it's going to be a success or not. I'm not going to say yes, it's going to be an instant success, but if we bought Kudus, would he have been an instant success for us? We don't know. Everyone's saying, we should have got Kudus, or we should have got Shirky, or we should have got this player, or we should have got that player. We don't know whether they would have hit the ground running. Cole Palmer may be the one who gives us that X factor. But just because he hasn't played that many games at Manchester City, the potential is there. Pep's not going to be putting in players from the academy if they don't have that potential to succeed. Manchester City have got an academy of over 40 odd players, and he doesn't just bring them through just to make a case. The players that he's brought through from that academy, Phil Foden, look how good his career has gone. That left back, I keep forgetting his name. You know the one I'm talking about, but he looks a good player at Manchester City at the moment. So anyone who gets elevated into the Manchester City first team have to be of a certain quality. And we saw that goal he scored against Arsenal in the Charity Shield. That was a goal of quality. When he's played against us in the cup competitions, he looked very good. He looks confident as well. He's a confident lad. But most important for me, Joe Shields. Joe Shields knows this guy really well. Just like we got Lavia. Everyone was happy to get Lavia. Lavia didn't make it at Manchester City. He went to Southampton. Because he'd done so well at Southampton, now everyone's happy that we've got Lavia. Liverpool wanted him as well. And our fan base, I didn't see anyone crying about why we're getting Lavia. And he's the same route. But the only difference is, had Lavia maybe been at Manchester City and just getting a few minutes here and there, because Lavia didn't even get any minutes, I don't think, at Manchester City. But Cole Palmer's had more minutes at Manchester City than Lavia. So if the tables were turned, Lavia was the one that we were going for from the Manchester City Academy. And it was Cole Palmer, who had gone to, say, Southampton or someone, had a standout season to make everyone sit up and take notice. Then there wouldn't be a fuss that we are trying to get him. And that's the way some of the football minds work. It's because he's not. The argument that he's not played that many minutes at Manchester City for me, that's just a poor argument. The argument I would say, which does make sense, is the amount we're paying for him. 40 million is a lot of money for somebody who's just come out of their academy and not played that much football. But that's the sort of money we're dealing with at the moment. Everyone's costing 40 million now. Even my boy, I can probably flog him for 20 million for a Sunday League side. So that's the way football finances are going at the moment. We're getting, was it 27, 30, going up to 30 million or something like that for our own Palmer in Lewis Hall. That's the money we're getting with add-ons if he does well at Newcastle. And he's only had a few games for Chelsea. So that's the way of the world at the moment. And the football finances has just gone crazy at the minute. So that's what we need to pay for good players. And then when you think we're willing to pay 35 million for Elise, I'm not saying that he's in the same bracket as Elise. We're paying a little bit more for him, and because the only reason we were going to get Elise so cheap anyway is because of his release clause, and we're just going to pay a little bit extra for Cole Palmer. And given the opportunities, you just don't know. He could reach the same heights as Elise. We'll only know when he starts playing for us. And then finally, I would like to say, like Havertz, for instance. Everyone wanted Havertz before he came to Chelsea, and we spent a big money on Havertz. How did that work out? I know not everyone wanted Lukaku, but there was a few people who did want Lukaku. Paid 95 million for him, big wages. How did that work out? Timo Werner was scoring goals for fun in the Bundesliga. When he came, I didn't see people saying they didn't really want him. I had my reservations about him, actually, because of the amount of space that he used to get in the Bundesliga. But there wasn't many people crying about that. How did that one work out? Ziyech, he was fantastic in Eredivisie. Came to Chelsea. How did that work out? And I could go on and on and on and on and on. Cucurella is the last one. Okay, it's only one season up with Cucurella, but you can see that money wasn't best spent. We basically wasted a lot of money on Cucurella. He's a 30 million defender at best. So it doesn't matter sometimes on the sort of fee that you pay or who you're getting, who you think you're getting, because who you think you're getting and who you get is totally different. So I am going to pass judgment at the end of the season. I'm not going to say that this is a bad transfer before the guy's even kicked a football at the club. So I'm going to give the guy every opportunity. If Cole Palmer does well, I'll be happy, and I want him to do well as well, because if he plays well, Chelsea play well, we become successful, and that's the way it goes. So I'm not one of these guys who will start to be negative over a transfer that we haven't even a player, who we haven't even seen put on a blue shirt. So give the guy a chance, give him your support, and you never know. It may be one of those masterclasses again from Joe Shields and the team. So let's just keep going with the team. Let's keep supporting the team, and let's see what happens. So, guys, what do you think about this Cole Palmer deal? Stick your comments in the section below. And don't forget, as always, to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications to be notified every time I make a video. So take care. Bye-bye.